the reason I'm here is, to be frank about it, is on Patreon we do custom requests monthly, and recently I had a Lauren Jauregui custom request to do her Vivo live performances of 50 Feet and Lento, and I was blown away, mesmerized. No te pongas impaciente, bájamelo. Oh my God, she can sing. El sube y baja me prende, está demasiado caliente, bájamelo. Dale lento, más lento, el ritmo me está encendiendo. Sitting there thinking I'm watching the next just absolute superstar of the entire music industry. That's genuinely how I felt to my core watching those two performances. And in my head, it's because I know Fifth Harmony, I'm obviously familiar with like other parts of the group, and there's other parts of the group that I'm very unfamiliar with. I've never heard any of their actual original music, and I've started to learn more recently. But I know they've been around for a little while, right? And that it's been a while. So to see that this is her first album since they sort of disbanded means that she's been cooking it up for a while, or she's just had her own reasons to sort of wait a little bit to finally share some music. And in my head, as I'm watching those performances, the only thing in my mind is, if she can write, she's gonna be everything. And I just can't stress enough the level, the talent that was just oozing off of this woman as I'm listening to her do these two live performances. So I did look up writing credits for these songs, and she's all over them. She wrote every song. She's either the only writer or one of another writer. Like I'm so excited to get into this, and I literally just watched two performances, and that alone has me diving into this album that has just come out. So with that being said, I say we just dive into it. I want to see what Lauren Jauregui is going to give us. As always, the full uncut reaction to this album. It's on the Patreon. The link's in the description. Let's jump in. Ooh, spine-chilling sort of feeling. Okay, that blends right into the Colors, which is track 2. It started off a little bit sort of spine chilling, and then it starts to get a bit magical with some bells. I feel like I'm kind of in Disneyland, but then it feels like a scary version of Disneyland, not the kind I want to be in. All right, let's get into Colors. I want to play the end of it and let it blend in. Can't be without you. Oh my God, this is what I was talking about. Wanna be with you, and although I have tried to, my heart has a way of rejecting what's good for it. Why haven't I caught your love? And everyone's gone, you can't fall apart. You won't see it's always been. Oh, I like how the backing harmonies are kind of off key, like not off key, but off. Not completely aligned with her. It kind of gives this feeling of array, which I feel like is kind of aligning with the meaning of the song a little bit. So when I watched her live performances, the first thing that jumped to my head was Jhené Aiko. Jhené Aiko, like she's got so much Jhené Aiko in her, and then she starts singing in Spanish, and then she starts having a bit more range than Jhené, and doing a bit more sort of having a bit more vocal acrobat ability in her. And then my mind just starts expanding to, okay, this woman can own the world. She starts, she puts some good writing into music, music that I have yet to hear, and now I'm finally getting to hear. So I'm getting early on goosebumps having just started this, just because I can kind of already see the hints of what I was hoping for. I love her, like, lower, smoky. Like the colors on the wall. 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 Like the col
see it now. It's so clear to me now. Found out. I'm actually not addicted to the drugs. I'm addicted to feeling fucking numb.
I love that she's embracing this R&B route. I love that she's embracing this R&B route because it was invented for her. Okay, from a sound standpoint, that's everything I wanted from her. It's everything I wanted from her, and I think I was so focused on all these sort of eerie background harmonies that were going on constantly throughout the whole song. Then that bass comes in and kicks so hard, and like I said, musically speaking, this is kind of everything I was looking for from her. Lyrically speaking, I had trouble picking up what she was saying because because I think of my focus was just so everywhere else, and I think I'm still trying to catch up with the level of talent she's been showing me already. So I can't be without you, don't want to be with you. My heart has a way of rejecting what's good for it. I'm sorry, I know it's tiring, all the convincing. I can be someone I feel I'm not. Ooh, that's like wow. Okay, who taught me that? I wasn't good enough. Why did I let you believe it? Why haven't I called your bluff? Calling your bluff as in, like, she's saying it's a bluff, but it's really not in her own head. Like, she's beaten herself up to such an extreme that she's created this fallacy of an existence of herself that's not real. But I mean, she can't help but think that way. Like, she's so in her own head. When everyone's gone, you can't fall apart. You will see it's always been you and I. Oh, you and I. Stay like the colors on the walls. Paint, but you can't erase them all. Is Lauren Jauregui a poet? It's so clear to me now. I'm actually not addicted to the drugs. I'm addicted to feeling numb. This world I'm living in, there's just too much to be done to dismantle the mental that has us moving like we weren't made with love. To dismantle the mental that has us moving like we weren't made with love. And that's sort of how the way we're brought up nowadays, sort of like dismantle the mental. It's like you are like it's kind of like a social media thing. It's kind of a societal thing. It's kind of like what you see on TV now. Like, it's just lots of things that sort of direct your mind to feel like you weren't made with love, like you weren't made to deserve love, like you weren't made to have love. So therefore you're moving in your life like that. Like, those are the movements that you're making in life, and that's what you're attracting. And even if you are attracting something good, like, you're not going to be able to have that like, it's just, you're pretty much pushing it away because of how you, like, the way that you've been sort of mentally kind of fucked by society. There's hints of imposter syndrome in here. Creators watching, I know that much, sat me down and told me stop watching, start doing. And that's again, stop watching, start doing. That stop watching feels like it plays into more of that sort of, you're sort of being influenced by everything around you. You need to start making your own movements and create your own self. If you don't listen to the messages, I promise they'll just keep coming. Ignoring spirit really never helped, amount to nothing. So grow is just the last line. And I want to go back to the color scheme that she came up here with, because that kind of represents the whole song. Stay like the colors on the wall. You and I stay like the colors on the wall. Paint, but you can't erase them all. If we're paint on the wall, different colors, and you can't erase them all. So it's layers, essentially. That's what it feels like anyway. It feels like we're talking about layers, because you paint in layers, and you can't erase every single layer. All you do is paint over. If you want to paint a wall, right? You can't erase the paint. You just paint over it. And that's sort of, it feels like you're now painting over the other. What? I cannot believe this is I didn't expect that we'd be getting into all this kind of breakdown on reading some lyrics off the first track. And I usually don't have to read lyrics because I usually pick up on it first listen. But Lauren's got so many of those elements in that song that I just am infatuated with on a personal level. As a huge R&B soul fan, just like lo-fi, just all R&B, all those sounds I'm absolutely in love with. Again, I got more of that Janae Echo, not to keep comparing, but gave me more of that. But we're doing the poetry thing. I'm so here for that. All right, Scattered featuring Vic Mensa.
Where she was.
She's gonna be doing this the whole album.
To your same face, I can't face these demons all alone. They don't like me. All night they stay and eat like they talk and they write and thunder and lightning.
I love her. I love her cadence on this, and I love her playing into the seasons again. Thunder and lightning, right after everything else she just had said before that.
Broken, lifting patterns on the carpet where she was.
I love the cadence right here.
Same face, I can't face these demons all alone. They don't like me. All night they stay and eat like they talk and they write and thunder and lightning. Gloves on, match me. Think I might need some help. I don't feel like myself. I don't feel like myself. I think I might need some help. I don't feel like myself. I don't feel like myself.
I love how first of all, I love the build up. I love two things about that a lot. I love how it's connecting with colors completely with I might need some help, I don't feel like myself, and a lot of those themes are all over colors. Also, I love how she's saying both those lines and she's building it up. She's saying the second line, the first line is like she's kind of calling for help, and then she starts to sound more frantic in the second line, like it's really starting to fucking get to her.
I don't need some help. I think I might need some help. I don't feel like myself. I don't feel like myself.
And it gets a bit more frantic, and the horns assist with that level of frantic. Yeah.
Don't feel like myself. I don't feel like myself. Scattered like the leaves upon the wind. Seasons must begin to change again. Shattered, pointed sharp.
And if you want to take it really deep too, like scattered like the leaves in the wind, seasons start to change. Leaves change colors. If we're really gonna, if we're gonna go that deep with it, but I wouldn't be surprised because she's really at a poetic level of writing so far.
Heart is broken, lifting pieces on the carpet where she bled.
Apartment, my drink splatter look just like the paint on the Jackson Pollock. My gray matter.
Yeah, there's that paint. Okay, Vic Mensa, I see you helping her out with the paint reference. I'm sure she might have like slid in that little, throw a paint reference in there for me.
I'm not just mad at myself, I'm mad at the world. My girl says I got trust issues. Honestly, I fuck with you. It's just I need the guts to say fuck it and open up to you. But it's just open cuts, too disgusting to be discussed with you.
I love her. What a start. This is a strong start to this. I'm a little sad that it's only 7 tracks, kind of 6 tracks because of the intro is a little short, but because I already want to just absorb her for an entire, expanded length album, but I'm gonna take what I can get. No complaints. Let's go. Falling is track 4.
It's about to be too late now to try to even get up out of bed. No responsibility is bigger than me. Wait outside my door.
Yeah.
I always try to hide it. I can't fight it any more than you can. 'Cause I'm only human, and I wanna live without it. In fact, I can't stand it to catch me.
I just want to hear her sing.
Falling. Catch me, I'm falling down.
I have so much to an extreme, and so much appreciation for artists that let us inside of their mind. And Lauren's doing that to the 10th degree in this album so far. She's letting us into every crevice of her mind. Talking about literally opening the song with just looking up and looking, like just staring at her phone, looking up, looking down, just the struggle with just getting up, having to get out the door, literally just to go work and survive. And if you don't, like you won't survive if you can't just get yourself up. And there's a sort of lingering feeling of this weight of being inside again, trying to like circle around and leave that sort of heavy feeling on the floor. A lot of this is taking place, it feels like, inside of like a room, it almost seems, and that sort of adds to the feeling of being of what she's already given us in colors and in scatter, and now in falling, of this theme. There's this theme, and the theme has everything to do with her mental health and has everything to do with the struggles that she's got on the inside. And I just, for her to let us into her mind on this first project at that, I have so much appreciation for it, one, and two, I am so gratified, so happy, because like I said, when I saw her sing a couple songs live, for it to have turned into this absolute work of art so far, it's everything I could have asked for.
I'm falling.
I love how there's a pause between the down. Like it feels like it's an actual fall.
Again and again and again and again and again. Oh, catch me. I'm falling. Nowhere to run to. Won't you catch me? I'm falling down. Mother, catch me. I'm falling down, down. Mother, catch me. I'm falling down again.
She say, "Mother, catch me." Oh, that's, oh my God, "Mother, catch me. I'm falling down again." Because your instinct when you're at your sort of most vulnerable and lowest point. That falling down indicates that sort of anxious depression, any mental health issues you could be dealing with, whatever's going on in your head, you feel like you're in your most vulnerable state. And when you're in your most vulnerable state, what's your instinct? Your instinct is to reach out to your mom, right? Even if you don't have a good relationship with your mom, it's still kind of an instinct to be like, or if you have no relationship, or if it's as damaged as ever, it's still kind of an instinct to be like, oh, like, I wish my mom was here to catch me. And for her to sort of wrap it up like that at the end is perfect, and it just makes the song that much more significant from a storytelling aspect, from a letting us inside her head aspect. Now she's just reaching in a different level of honesty and letting us into where she is in her head once again. All right, track 5, On Guard, featuring Black.
Run your hands over my scars, maybe too much, so I gotta see who you are before you inspire the art. So calm down, there's no need to rush now, won't let it go too far. On guard, staying on guard, gotta watch out for my heart, never really know someone, so I'll keep
I love her
distance between.
And there's not one lie is told. I'll keep a distance in between. You never really know someone. Like, I'll stay on guard, keep your guard up. And why wouldn't she keep her guard up with everything she's been talking about so far?
You tell me not to block my blessing, but I'm blessed on my own. I use my breakups to get in the zone. You don't wanna be a song, don't be the reason I'm mad and alone. I know not to make a person my home.
I'm gonna say right now, all these songs are stuck in my head at the same time. I'm just gonna let track 6 play. That was the perfect kind of connection. This is Don't Wanna Say.
Phantom fingertips brush against my skin,
Phantom fingertips brush against my skin.
shaking with desire. See, I can read it in your eyes when you're looking at me like that. Yeah, I want it, but don't wanna say I want it. Don't wanna say I want it. You should know that I do.
Oh man, her voice is Her voice is a whole fucking pot of honey, but like the pots of honey that Winnie the Pooh had in the 100-Acre Wood that are like this whole size of him, and he'd like fall into them. That's her voice. Hey. Carried it out and then brought it down. You know what I love about that? Besides the fact that I just love the fucking song. And it's like everything, that song is everything I grew up on. That's what that song is. That's what I love about it. That song is everything I grew up on from an R&B standpoint. And I love that we've gotten, like, I just touched on this with when we were going through On Guard. Is that she takes us a lot deeper. Like, she incorporates R&B, but she also makes sure that she's also poetry writing, and she's letting us into her mental, and she's completely stripping back her walls and being so vulnerable with all of us, right? And she's combining that with the art that is the sound of R&B. And I love that we've gotten all of that, but then don't want to say we get to a moment where it's just like a very straightforward song, and but as far as what it's about, it's very straightforward, right? There's not much to break down there, but it's got every single element of that soul and R&B. I love the horns that keep coming around and finding their way into all these songs, and I love that she just has one of those moments on this album where you can just sort of sit back and be like, oh yeah, this is straightforward, but this is still a fucking bop. This is still a jam. Like, this is still one that you gave me something to sweat to, if anything. All right, this is the last track. I'm sad about it. It's Sorry. Man, I'm gonna be thankful for what I got. Let's listen to it here.
It's hard for me to see a future of a we could be when your insecurities in the way of seeing me for me.
Oh my, this woman's voice is magic. Her voice is magic.
It'll never be enough understood.
I love when she, and this happened a lot when she did the live performances I saw of Lento and 50 Feet. These breaks in her voice too, where she sort of loses it, but she still maintains breath.
It'll be enough understood.
Love that as well.
It's hard for me to see a future of a we could be when your insecurities in the way of seeing me for me. So I'll leave. And although I'll miss you,
the drop down.
I can't keep going around in these circles when I know we're falling apart. So I'm sorry, but I can't love you.
I brought up Jhené Aiko, I brought up Beyonce, and now I'm getting tons of Alicia Keys here. She is just picking I'm not saying she's picking these intentionally, but for me personally, as far as what I'm being able to connect this to is from any potential inspirational standpoint, it doesn't get better than that. It doesn't get better than that. Alicia Keys was my literal favorite female artist growing up. So, and it's still one of my favorites. But was a key to my love of music and why I am where I am today. So, oh man, just wow. Yeah, also, you don't got to be sorry, Lauren. You gave him 2 years.
When we're growing up apart separate ways, so I'm sorry. I couldn't love you like you want me. Know we're falling apart,
She also, I think it was in Falling where she referenced having to walk around in circles to sort of drop this terrible feeling that she was dealing with.
But I can't love you anymore. And I keep falling apart.
Oh, it ends so abruptly. Okay, all right. So I just gotta sit here and want more. Basically, that's what it is. Colors is the first track I'm gonna go back to as soon as this is all over. I think my favorite song on this whole album is probably Scattered. That being said, there's not one track on this album that I don't either really like or really love. She nailed this R&B soul, just like direction. She gave me, I said this multiple times, but we're done here, so I'm going to say it one last time. We're here right now. One, because the album just came out, but tons of albums come out all year, and I don't have every chance that I'd like to get right to them. But I saw her do 50 Feet. I saw her do Lento, right? Those were the people. It was requested of me to do that last month, and I did that. And in my head, I was like, wow. If she ever drops music, I am going, like, I cannot wait. I need to listen to it the second it comes out. And that it was perfect timing. It happened to happen. I didn't know this was coming out when I did those songs, and then here we are now listening to this. So those are the reasons we're here, because I just thought she was a magical talent and presence, and I truly thought when I watched those performances that she could have everything she wants from a musical standpoint, whatever accomplishment she wants, whatever she wants to do, it's up to her. And speaking on that, it's interesting because this album is not an album that's geared, like the sound of it, it was not made to be geared to have like a big pop radio hit. None of these songs are like that. None of these songs have that sort of arrangement to them. There's no intentional directive or narrative in the song to lead you to that. There's too much. These are diary excerpts, is what they are. And then you combine that with that R&B soul sound, which isn't like a huge radio friendly sound. I feel like she just bared her soul on 7 tracks here, and did this for herself more than anything. And it worked. And when you do, see, that's what I love, is because when you do that, that's when you get the best result. It led to this absolutely magical debut here. And all I can think about now is, well, what the future holds. What the future holds, what else she's going to do in the future. You know, she's officially made a huge fan here, so I've got my eyes out for whatever future projects come out from her, and whatever live performances, interviews, just get inside her brain a little bit more as far as her process with this album. Like I said, I did see that she wrote on every single track, whether she was the only writer or just one of a couple writers, with obviously she's got a couple features, so that would make sense. The features made perfect sense. They worked out perfectly. The instrumentation on Guard was like meant for Black, so I love that she got him for that song. And then Scattered, Vic Mensa, I feel like was the perfect collaboration for her, and I love that she made that happen for her debut here. Yeah, Lauren Howdegui, keep an eye out for her. I certainly will be. You can certainly expect Lauren Howdegui related content in the future should she drop anything, because she just made a huge fan here. Yeah, if you chose to join me for this, I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. I hope you were able to appreciate this as much as I did, because this really is a look into her mental, guys. You start with Colors, and you start with just not feeling good enough. Like, who doesn't relate to that, right? Maybe not everyone does, but if you can relate to that, really look into the lyrics of that song Colors and really let it just take over you. And then you go into Scattered, right? And there's a lot of the same messaging there. Let that take over you. Then you go into Falling, and we're still in that situation, except now it's really getting the best of us, and now we just need our comfort wherever we can find it, whatever that is for us. For her, it was her mother. She's in her most vulnerable place, and then you start to get into some more some more love aspects in the album as we start to close it out. Those last 3 tracks are more geared into the direction of romance. Colors was as well, but like straight just on guard, not being able to keeping your guard up, literally keeping your guard up. I actually thought Black had a lot of really cool references. Like there was the Floyd Mayweather reference, keeping his guard up, and there was like Up North, and just a lot of really slick sort of lines here and there. And then it's just the way this closed out. Don't want to say, very straightforward. That's your classic R&B song. And then Sorry, like an apology, but an apology to someone that had so many chances. And I loved Sorry closing it out because Sorry had the least going on in the song, and it really felt like a really raw sort of way to just close the album out. And that's what this album was. It was really raw, really honest. And I can just go on and on about what I'm feeling for Lauren Jauregui as an artist in this moment. So again, I really hope you all enjoyed this, and I will see you next time. Lauren, you are fucking fantastic. Holy shit.